Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. All right, so we are going to be talking about the streamies that happened last night, and I was actually watching this in real time, and there was a song at the start that the ending line was about like ukulele or toxic gossip train or something, and I was like, oh, of course, you know, they've made reference to the toxic gossip train. You know, it was a pretty standout performance, if you will, and I'm surprised that she didn't win favorite song at the streamies last night. I thought that they were going to reference it, and they did, and I was just kind of watching it as normal, and then I got to about an hour and a half into the streamies, and there was an entire in memoriam section, and I want to watch it, I want to talk about it, and the reason I want to talk about it is because last night was a moment for me where it was kind of like, holy shit. And I had a really weird moment where I like went on the phone with my friend last night. And I know I've talked often on here about my opinion with everything happening, but there was something very surreal about last night, the Streamy Awards, all of the YouTubers there, all of the creators there, and them, I hate to sound mean here, but laughing at her. And it was a real moment of like, damn, like, in 2020, whenever, you know, she turned the entire situation around, everyone was laughing at me. So I know how that feels, right? But I didn't lie in 2020, so it was like even worse. She lied, and now years later, everyone is laughing at her. And not everyone is laughing at her, but her peers, all of the people in the crowd are people who've done collabs with her. They're her friends or anything like that, and they're all laughing at her. And it just kind of was a moment last night of, oh my God, like, history hasn't repeated itself. And it really was weird. It really, really, really was weird. Because it was just kind of like, I've never said, like, vindication or validation in this. I saw someone in chat said that. I've never used those words when it came to this topic. And I feel like in many interviews I've said that. I don't like those words with it. Last night was the first time I ever felt that. And the reason I felt that was because in 2020, sorry, I hate to keep bringing up the year, but, you know, Colleen started speaking to all of her friends in the YouTube community, like James Charles and all these people, and got all of them to go on the record slamming me. But now all of those people are at a YouTube creator award ceremony in which they're literally making fun of her because of how much of an awful person she is. And they're all, you know, enjoying it. And it's like, it's really weird because it's like, okay, it took y'all 3 years, but it's like, I've obviously heard the you know, the public opinion, you know, change over the last couple months, which has in a way been very uplifting to making me feel more comfortable to talk and everyone else more comfortable to talk. But there was something about last night watching the streamies where I'm going to show you now, this happens, that has completely, like, opened my eyes and changed everything for me. And it was honestly the first time last night where I felt proud of myself that I didn't back down over the last 3 years. It may have taken 3 years, but the same people who are in this room who were dogpiling on me in 2020, defending their friend, are now admitting defeat in a way that, you know, their person they were defending was in the wrong and is an awful person. And again, have not used this word, but I'm going to use it now. It really felt like a moment of like vindication and validation. And I'm going to play it. And I don't like using those words because then people are like, oh, what are your motives in this? And I've never said them, but there was something about that last night that just was like, how can I not watch this and feel like fucking hell? Like, we're gonna watch this, okay? All right. So this is the streamies from last night.
You know, it'd be wrong of us if we didn't take a minute to slow things down and truly acknowledge that.
So there's a ukulele playing already, and whenever I was watching this last night and I started hearing that ukulele, I was like, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's just an instrumental.
It's been a tough year. That's why we thought it would be appropriate to put together the first ever Streamies in Memoriam. First and foremost,
this has been the first time in all of this I genuinely have smiled ear to ear. I have not been able to fully allow myself to feel happy with anything that's gone on because it has been such an awful situation. But there was something about this that I just watched this and smiled. It was like, oh my God, they've listened. Like, I'm not talking about just public opinion. Like, the social media platforms have listened. Like, this is a award show, you know, that's like partnered with YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and all these different things. And it's like, they've listened. They've listened. Like, that's, there's no more her being able to get her YouTube friends to get their audiences against me. There's no more. It just was like, damn. And the fact that, you know, Matt Pat, who is hosting, has worked with Colleen in the past, I'm pretty sure a couple times, and is going on the record against her. These platforms are not trying to silence anything. It was a crazy moment last night of just, it took 3 years, but people are listening. And I'm aware that people are listening, and they have been, and I'm so grateful for that. But what I'm saying is, this just feels so different, because everyone in that room, whether they laughed, whether they didn't, they are aware of what happened. And there's no more of her being able to play dirty behind the scenes of trying to shut any of this up.
I'd like to pour one out for the thousands of our dear brethren that passed simply because they wanted to honor an icon.
The fucking
so
ukulele.
Many happy birthdays. So many shattered dreams. Yeah, give it up for them. Godspeed. None of us could have imagined a world where a site's own mods turned against it and 90% of
the chat, by the way, being like, not the toxic gossip train.
Content became photoshopped pictures of John Oliver. No one platform truly blew it harder. Oh, wait. I take that one back. Apologies,
Yikes.
Twitch table. Now, I think it's safe to say that no one platform blew it harder. Oh. I forgot about Twitter. Oh, poor Twitter, poor Elon. We all witnessed the carnage that happened on one site again and again and again. So maybe it's not safe to say that no one platform blew it harder, because after all, it's only August and it is a long year ahead of us. But it was the tragic loss of this one thing that truly hit the creator community the hardest. Something whose train unfortunately left the station with one ill-advised 10-minute long video.
I'm allowing myself to have this moment of laughing. I have waited 3 years for this.
I'm sorry.
Do you hear that? All the people that have worked with her and defended her in that room laughing, by the way.
No, I'm sorry.
Looks like someone knows how to apologize. Ooh. Okay, on that note, one is a breakout.
So one thing I first and foremost just want to draw your attention to Let me pull something up really quickly. I'm allowing myself to have this moment because you have no idea the inner workings of behind the scenes within this community that she tried to put a stop to this years and years ago, 2020. Okay, let me try to pull something up here real quick for you. Paste. Okay. Like, first of all, not this, but she is someone that has been, honored at the streamies before. So for the streamies to make a stance, and literally their main joke of the night was the running joke of the ukulele. It's like, I never, ever, 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 ever thought that ever any platform or any whatever would ever make a stance or would ever make a joke. A second ukulele has hit the streamies. But it's like, I just can't believe it. And also, one thing I do want to say is, I don't know if anyone is aware of Rebecca Zamolo, but she is someone who was friends with Colleen and Josh, and she was one of the people that got one of the biggest hate trains after Colleen fell out with her. And Rebecca Zamolo was sitting front row last night when this was happening. And to be a fly on the wall for Rebecca Zamolo, who I don't even speak to, but when that was happening, because there's people in that room that Colleen has done so dirty, taking myself out of this equation, like so many people in that room that she has done directly dirty, talked shit about, bullied, gotten hate trains, and they're sitting in that room while this is being streamed, and this is a part of the like, I really, really, really couldn't believe it. And it's just a silly joke, and I'm aware that that is. But there was something so validating about knowing that her peers and the social media platforms are aware of what happened. And I think what's interesting to note is if Colleen hadn't have posted the ukulele video, none of this would have happened, because you don't see the streamies making, James Charles jokes, or, these people who have had similar allegations, right? They don't make those kind of jokes. So this was 100% Colleen's ego that did this, because she's the one that fucked this up. She's the one that did that. She's the one that thought she was going to one up all of us with a ukulele, she doesn't care kind of attitude. And that's what the social media platforms are allowing the host to, make fun of and do. And it's like, I just think it's brilliant, honestly, that all of this was done by her. Like, she did this. It was that ukulele video she posted to one up us. Now has the community laughing at her. And honestly, that sounds pretty harsh for me to say that. Like, I'm enjoying all of them laughing at her, but I am, because you have no idea the behind the scenes of the creators that she was speaking to about me for many years. And that was her sneakily trying to work behind the scenes, hands clear and stuff. So for this to be, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And I just think it's going to be like, again, so many people in this room have collaborated with her, have worked with her. And it's like, when she inevitably crawls her way back into the internet, I mean, who's going to be lining up to do a Miranda Sings collab with her? I mean, they're all in this room laughing at it. I don't know. I just thought it was so shocking, so brilliant. And it really was probably one of the first times in this entire situation where I've been able to kind of sit back and be like, wow, like, I really do. And you know what? As harsh as it sounds, I giggled I giggled at the fact that they were all laughing at her because she deserves it. She does. And I'll leave it there. Shout out Matt Pat. Shout out Streamies. I'll see you next year. Me going to the Streamies, sitting in like the seat fillers next year. Hi muckers, we're at the Streamies right now. People go, are you nominated? And I go, no, I'm serving the tables. Table 12 will take a burger. I'm on it.